Just like we all expected at the start of the season, we have a playoff game featuring Joe Flacco and the Houston Texans. And I'm really excited about this matchup. This is arguably one of the best games of the wildcard round because, first and foremost, it is the closest spread of all of the games. The Browns are favored by just 2 points. So it is a very competitive matchup. And there's also kind of a build-up to this game where we saw these two teams play each other in the regular season, but we really didn't because CJ Stroud was absent from the game due to injury. And that means you really can't learn about anything from that game. The only thing we could learn is Joe Flacco can throw the ball up to Amari Cooper, and that can be successful, as Amari Cooper had a career game in the initial matchup where he went off for about 265 yards, I believe it was. And that is something that really propelled the Browns to win, aside from just Stroud being injured. I don't expect it to be repeated, though, because Derek Stingley is already an elite corner. He just has it all. He's super athletic. He's great in man coverage. He can play zone. He is a fantastic player. He struggled a bit in his rookie year, but man, did he come on in his second year, and he is already a great player. Steven Nelson, also one of the best number twos in football. He is an exceptional corner in his own right. And then, really, Desmond King is a nice slot option as well. So they are solid across the board in the corner department. They should not be exposed by Cooper like they were in the first game. So that's going to be quite a difference from the first matchup to the second matchup, which is going to be needed for the Texans if they want any chance to win, because I know I said that you couldn't really learn anything from the initial matchup, but it is a little bit worrisome when you lose by 14 points and you also were at home, no less, for that. So you're going to be home again, and I expect them to come out a lot stronger. I think you add Davis Mills and Case Keenum together, all of their talent, and you might get something close to CJ Stroud, but them playing individually is nowhere near Stroud's capacity. Keenum threw 2 interceptions. I highly doubt that Stroud will throw 2 interceptions, even against this vaunted elite defense. And I'm actually leaning Houston for this game, even though they are the underdog, albeit a slight underdog. I think that their offensive line is really going to struggle because the defensive line for the Browns is elite across the board. Myles Garrett, one of the best, if not the best, edge rushers in football. Zadarius Smith, one of the best complementary edge rushers in football. But their secondary is good, but I wouldn't say it's elite. And that may seem striking to you because their defense was so exceptional this year. They have a great corner in Denzel Ward, but I think you can have some success against Martin Emerson. He had an okay year this year. He had a really good year his rookie year, but he kind of disappointed a little bit, at least according to PFF grades, this past season, where he was about middle of the pack as far as grading goes. And I think Greg Newsome is also really solid, but I don't think he's elite. So what that means is Nico Collins, who had one of the best years out of any receiver this past season, he can have some success against this secondary. And he's going to need to get open quickly and have his success done before the great pass rush comes through. The same for Noah Brown. But Noah Brown had a great year this year as well. I think he can be somebody that helps out CJ Stroud, Dalton Schultz. He's going to have some success, albeit it's going to be minimized a bit by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, who's a great cover linebacker. But I think there's some success to be had for these great weapons for the Texans, and obviously the great quarterback of CJ Stroud. So I lean the Texans here. I think they'll win at home. I think they're being a little bit underrated by Vegas and some of the analysts I've seen, just leaning kind of more strongly in the direction of Cleveland than I believe is reasonable.